It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos under the lights on Monday night.
Opened in 2001, it lies on the same site and retains the name of the city's beloved former stadium. We're here at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many, many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback.
And that really does make it a measuring stick game for both of them, Kate. Rookie quarterbacks in the draft, they're always linked to each other from the moment they're tabbed the starters in their first season. And then when you get to look across and you get to play one, you know that both of them want to be the one who leads their guys to a win, because that's a victory that will be talked about, well, for the rest of their rookie season and beyond.
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And here we go at Mile High. To return, Jerome Ford. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here are the Browns now, headed out for their first drive. And they'll be led out by this promising young signal caller out of the University of Colorado.
Kate, when I watch these rookie quarterbacks running out to open a game, I think of the old World Series great pitcher Cliff Lee. And he made a one-handed play in the World Series and was asked about it afterwards. They said, man, how do you have so much poise? You didn't even look nervous on that stage. And he said, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. You got to tell yourself you'll be just fine. And these rookie QBs, that's part of the learning curve they're climbing.
Ford straight ahead. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for two.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 29. This finds Carter complete. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind here when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll throw on first. Looking right, and he finds him. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that gives the Browns a first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Kate. Every defensive guy, they watch tape in their own ways. The linebackers, well, they're a little bit like quarterbacks. They got to develop that sixth sense by watching that tape so they can diagnose and get home in a hurry like he just did.
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. Third down, 1 yard to go. Here's Ford running right. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
The Browns looking to punt on 4th down, so on comes their southpaw, Corey Bojorquez, to handle it. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. So we'll see the Broncos offense now for the first rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
Duke the defender. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah there to bring him down. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Nix from the gun. He puts everything behind this one. It is caught at the 20. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
The Broncos into the red zone for the first time. They've got 1st and 10 right along the 20. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you've got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Again on 2nd and 10. Nix. Cut by Sutton. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Lone back gets the handoff. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. That's the end of our first quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. We'll get you back to Mile High after this. Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. A very short kick here from the right hash. Bertolet able to knock it through. And that's going to get them on the scoreboard.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Here's Ford on the return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Onto the field comes the Browns offense for the second time. And coming off our first points of the ball game, they're going to take over now trailing 3-zip. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Completed over the middle. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Throwing now off play action. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Pass play coming here. Complete beyond the marker. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They'll throw it again. That's complete, David Njoku. And this goes across midfield and into Broncos territory.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Running left. Here's Ford. Has a lane inside the 35. And he's all the way down to the 32-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Cleveland 1st down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
To throw it on 1st down. That one complete to Njoku. He's got to gain a 6 there. Alex Singleton makes the tackle.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Shotgun snap, a gift to Ford. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of this. Talanoa Hufanga there to make the play. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, these 3rd and short situations, you rep them all the time. Snap after snap, rep after rep. You're expecting man-to-man coverage in that down and distance, and you're expecting to execute. That time on 3rd and short, they can't get the job done.
This is Ford on the handoff. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
These running backs love getting into the open field, and the best of them, they're not even looking at the man right in front of them. They're looking at that next level to get a chunk run like that.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Dropping back to throw. Makes the connection. Here's Jerome Ford. And this is down all the way to the 3. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get him enough yards for the 1st, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Looking to throw on 1st and goal. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
They are throwing it again. Brought in by Ford.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Here's a throw. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one, Kate. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back on track.
So the Browns are going to kick the field goal on 4th down. Dustin Hopkins on for the attempt. This is a chip shot from the left hash. Carlson's kick is good. And it'll knock this game up late in the 2nd quarter.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Hopkins has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. Marvin Mims now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So the Broncos headed out for their 2nd drive of the game. And we're down inside a minute to play in the half, but that's enough time to get a drive together. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. This is hauled in by Ingram. And he almost reaches the 45 before going out. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Nix with it on 1st. Completed to Sutton. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack them, only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Throwing on 1st down, Nix. This is brought in at the 15. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their 1st. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Nix off the play action. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! But the Broncos will get it back. Whew, heads up play to recover that one. They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. Connects with his back, Jaleel McLaughlin. And that will not be enough for a 1st down. Now the offense going to take its third and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. And the Browns add an extra defensive back out there. Nickel package, third down. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. It's a 34-yarder from that right hash.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Return starts from the goal line. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Browns taking the field with barely any time left in this opening half. And with field position and the clock against them, probably not going to see anything of substance here before halftime. "19 seconds remain in our opening half. Let's see what they do with it." All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry. So we've reached halftime in Denver. The hometown fans, yeah, they're feeling good. Their Broncos have the lead. Now we'll send you to our studios in Orlando and Jonathan Coachman for a look around the league with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Hopkins has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. On the return, here's Mims. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton taking the field once again. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Now Nix. We've got a screen to the running back. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. They give it to him again. Has a lane past the 45. And he's all the way into enemy territory, officially at the 49. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And the Broncos will have a first down.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. McLaughlin there to bring it in. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on 1st down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Out of the gun. They'll give it to him inside. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Third and a lone yard coming up. Nix looking to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Nix from the gun. This one delivered off target, Brock. That's incomplete.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time, well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Here's Nix. Completed to his running back. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
They'll throw again. Nix escapes. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with the quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. From 37 yards in the right hash. Bertolet able to knock it through. And that'll double their lead to 6.
So many of these players on the field, Kate, they just strive for consistency, but not the kickers. They strive for perfection, and so far, he's just that.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's Ford on the return. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. Now we see the Browns offense headed out. And what's really been simply stunning, Brock, is how far we've made it into the game, and their passing game, it is still grounded.
Yeah, so as they're sitting here losing right now, what I hear you saying, Kate, is it's time for this offense to take flight?
They've got 1st down from the 31. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
There was almost no resistance offered against the rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. He's going to throw this one. That's going to be caught by Carter. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. Judy there to grab it. We'll head out of bounds after a small gain.
You've got to be cognizant of where the line to gain is. You can't run that route short, and you certainly can't throw it. That route's just not deep enough. Needed to extend it closer to the chains for a first down.
The Browns are lining up to punt. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And the Broncos are going to take over with a lot of field ahead of them. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah there to bring him down. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. It's the Broncos with the ball, trying to close out what would currently be a win. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Play action with Nix. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the middle. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. Complete beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They got 24 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
1st and 10 from the 41. They'll run it from the gun. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. They gain 14 on the play. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
They had the 1st down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Throwing here, Nix. That finds Vele, complete. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he'll advance this down to the 38 on that run. It'll be a gain of 5. They still need 4 on 3rd down.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He's got the hook up to Ingram. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
First and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap to Nix. Forced out to his right. Now here he goes. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a first and goal.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that first down anyway. Ugh.
All set up for an insurance score here. It's first and goal. Here's Estime up the middle. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
They'll try and punch it in. And he'll pick up a little down to the 12-yard line. He got maybe a yard there, so a long third and goal coming up.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult fourth down decision.
Back to throw it. He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
Okay, you'll often hear me talk about setting an edge, setting an edge. Well, think of it this way as well, especially with a bootleg. You want to be like the jaws of a defense. You want to just keep him inside. Get those jaws a-closing, and there's no escape valve for the QB then.
That brings us to the 2-minute warning here in Denver. Broncos up by 6. Here comes Will Lutz, a lot riding on this field goal try. This 32 yards out on the right hash. Bertolet able to knock it through. And that'll make it a 2-score game.
The best kickers I've been around here over the last few decades, they relish these moments. They know the hard work all their buddies on offense and defense have done. And when they can make it a 2-score game and be clutch when it matters, these are the moments they live for.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Returnable from the 1. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Cleveland offense back out and getting set for the drive. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. They'll come out throwing. He's got time here. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Back to throw. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. to throw. Can't find anyone open. He's forced to throw it away.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on third down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on fourth. Looking to throw it. Got him in. It's Njoku. And he's out of bounds very close to that marker, but it looked a tad short. Oh, and it is. That's a turnover on downs. And that might do it for him, Brock. Doesn't reach the marker as they turn it over on downs here in the fourth.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the fourth. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
Markers reset, ball at the 37. On first down, they'll run. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. The Browns take the first of their 3 timeouts. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. They'll come up 1st and 10. Another carry for him. And he makes it to the start of the red zone down at the 20. Now a timeout's called. Cleveland using its second. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. To the well again. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. Now the Browns spend their final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Lining up to take a knee on second down. The Broncos to a knee and let the clock run out on this win.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Setting up for the kneel down on third. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one. So it's a win for the Broncos. And it was a maestro of a performance defensively, limiting them to only 1 field goal. Playing shutdown football like that, Brock, it is no surprise they came away with the win. And I think you'd agree, we see some more lockdown football in their future. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners, as we'll see you next time from Denver.